"We're all ready for a great day called Christmas," said the candy cane. "Yes," said the candy lion, "and I'm so sweet I couldn't be cross, yet. I've heard real lions often are very wild and angry when we're being eaten," said the candy elephant. "It's perfectly glorious, for we're so much appreciated. Some children say that they love hard candy better than any other kind. Other children will take bites of us and will smack their lips joyously. All this I've heard from Santa. Oh, the lives of candy toys are very exciting. We belong to the best time of the year, and how the children will love us." Santa was sitting in his workshop. He was making a lovely doll with curly hair and blue eyes, and his dog, Boy of the North, was sitting close to his chair with his head against Santa's knee. "Last Christmas," said Santa, "I was at a house where there were 3 little girls, and oh, Boy of the North, they were such nice little girls. They were really lovely, and so good. Of course they were asleep, but no matter, Boy of the North, you needn't laugh. They were good children. I can tell you, even if mothers and daddies may say children are bad at times, I only say, well, what child isn't bad sometimes? It wouldn't upset old Santa, for he knows they're doing their best and trying their best. But, as I said, these children were such nice little girls. They were asleep, as I told you, when I saw them. They slept in 3 little white beds, and each had her hair in 2 beautiful braids. I filled their stockings, and I said to myself, you are a nice collection of youngsters for any mother and any father to be proud of. Dear me, but I'm proud to be old Santa Claus and to have the honor of filling your Christmas stockings." Then I went downstairs where there was a tree, and I started a trimming of the tree. They had left some things for me to use. Some people are kind that way about leaving many of the nice decorations which can be used every Christmas. It saves me room in my pack, and I like to see the same old decorations coming out year after year. But I saw something else there, too. I saw a present, a gift for me. I looked down at it, and saw that it was addressed to me and that it said, "To Santa Claus, with love from Helen." And I saw that it had another little note inside which said, "Dear Santa, I made this myself, so please forgive mistakes." It was a pincushion, Boy of the North, and I have it in my room now. You may have noticed it. Boy of the North wagged his tail. Well, I was pleased, and I wrote Helen a note thanking her, but really, Boy of the North, I mean this quite truly, I don't care about getting presents. I like to feel I'm one person who gives gifts but who doesn't receive gifts, for I have all my thanks in the smiles of children. A little girl was looking in a shop window. "Mother," she said, "what I want is that adorable gray felt rabbit with the big ears, and the blue ribbon around his neck. Oh, I could love him and love him for always." And her mother wrote a note to Santa and told him this, and Santa said to himself, "She shall have the little gray felt rabbit to love." One year Santa was very, very busy, and so he sent a note to the mothers and fathers in a certain town telling them that he was so rushed he would have to leave his presents some time before Christmas, and that he would, of course, stop off a little while Christmas Eve to fill all the stockings and trim the trees. In one house lived a little boy named Teddy. His daddy told him that Santa had left some of his presents ahead of time, but that he had especially said that he did not wish the little boy to look in any of the closets and put him on his honor not to, for if he should look, Santa had said he would take away the presents. The little boy had asked Santa Claus for a horse and cart, which he wanted more than anything in the world. Several days went by, and the little boy resisted the temptation of looking to see if the horse and cart had come. But one day he could stand it no longer, so when everyone was out he looked into all the closets, and in the last one he saw the long-wished-for horse and cart. Such a beauty as it was too. The horse had a mane and a tail of real hair, and the cart was painted a bright red. Oh, how delighted the little boy was, and he closed the closet door and went back to his playroom very happy. As no one had seen him look into the closet, the next day he thought he would take another look. What was his horror to find that the horse and cart had disappeared, and no sign of it was anywhere to be found. He cried himself to sleep, so ashamed did he feel. The next morning he decided to write to Santa Claus. So he said, "Dear Santa Claus, I know I was a naughty boy and looked when I was told not to. Please forgive me and give me back the horse and cart, and I will never be a bad boy again." He put this note up the chimney, and the very next morning he found this lovely answer. "Dear Teddy, I am sure you are sorry, and am certain you will never do such a thing again. So on Christmas morning when you get up you will find the horse and cart awaiting you. Your old friend, Santa Claus." "Where are you going? All dressed up?" asked the blue sky of Mr. Sun. "I am going to a coasting party," he said. "And pray tell me, how can you go to a coasting party?" asked the blue sky as a smile in the shape of a little silver cloud came over it. And why not? Asked Mr. Sun. I'd hardly say, continued the blue sky, that coasting was exactly one of your talents. No, not exactly. Now confess, you can't coast, so why do you go to a coasting party? It would be as funny as if the blue sky went skating. Ah, but don't you see, said Mr. Sun, just because you're so extremely bright there is no reason why you need think you're the only one who sees. I can see perfectly, thank you, and on a clear day like this I'm at my best. But you don't see, truly, persisted Mr. Sun. Then explain to me how you can go to a coasting party, said the blue sky. There, that's something like, now that you've asked me the necessary question I can tell you my story. Must you always have the necessary question, Mr. Sun? Always, replied Mr. Sun. Well, continue, said the blue sky. It's this way, said Mr. Sun. You see there are many children in the world. That isn't news to me, Mr. Sun. I'm only telling it to you to begin with. Begin with something I don't know, said the blue sky. How do you suppose I can tell just what you know and what you don't? I never went to your school. Oh well, said the blue sky frowning a little, while 3 small clouds came over it. Go on with your story any way you please. Thank you, said Mr. Sun. Some of these children are giving a coasting party this afternoon, and what do you suppose they said? I've no idea, said the blue sky. I don't see how anyone could guess. Children are apt to say so many different things. They seem to know so many words and games and stories and all sorts of things. Yes, said Mr. Sun, they're bright little things, that's true. You talk about them, Mr. Sun, as if they were stars. Bright little things indeed, how funny you are. Well, they are little and they are bright, aren't they? Very well, said the blue sky. Do go on with your story. I don't get half a chance, said Mr. Sun looking a little dull for a moment. I won't say another word, said the blue sky. And these children said, we do hope Mr. Sun will come to our coasting party. Now then, I was asked to come by the children. A great honor, and I'm going. Yes, I'm going to shine with might and main over that party. They'll keep so warm, they'll have such a good time, and they'll be so glad that they asked me. I don't think it's such an honor, said the blue sky, for they're just making use of you. I like to be useful, said Mr. Sun. Now just at that moment the children appeared for their coasting party. Oh, see the bright sun, they exclaimed. We wished for the sun and here he is. Such fun as we'll have now. And then one of them added, and the sky is all blue, it's a wonderful day. Run away, clouds, said the blue sky. These children like me too. Ha, 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 laughed Mr. Sun. So you will do as the children ask, And the whole big face of the blue sky was without a cloud or a frown. And the children had a blue sky and the sun for their party. Ba-eh, 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 said the lamb Santa had just finished making, as he gave it a little squeeze. Fine, exclaimed Santa Claus. That's right. Suppose, whispered the lamb, the child who gets me wouldn't know where to look, or where to press, what then? She'd never know I could make those sounds. She'll find out, never fear, said Santa Claus. And the lamb smiled its little toy smile, for it knew Santa Claus always spoke the truth. And that night the stars all over the world seemed brighter as they looked down upon the earth, for they knew of the joy so soon to come in so many thousands and thousands of homes. It was a Christmas morning, and Santa hadn't come, said Daddy. The little Eskimo who lived so far up north had been too excited to sleep. Finally one of the Daddy Eskimos said, I'm afraid something must have happened to Santa Claus. The storm last night was so wild. Let's get some of the dogs and sleds. So a number of the bigger boys and some of the men began to get ready. They bundled up so much that all you could see was their eyes. The storm had let up, but the snowdrifts were like mountains. They had just started when a tinkling of bells was heard, and what should they see but 8 beautiful reindeer and old Santa Claus dressed in a red suit with great big furs. On his back was a huge bag which was almost overflowing, so full was it. Merry Christmas, Santa Claus! Shrieked all the little Eskimo. Merry Christmas to you all, said Santa, and the reindeer shook their heads and tinkled their bells, which was their way of saying, Merry Christmas. Poor Santa's mustache and eyebrows were frozen, and his face was very, very red from the cold. But oh, it was so jolly for them actually to have Santa with them. They had never before been awake when he had come, even though his visit to them was always his last. As soon as he had warmed his hands and had seen to the feeding of his reindeer and patted them for their bravery, he undid his pack. And such a Christmas as they all did have. You know, said Santa, I'm glad there was such a storm, for this is my very first Christmas party. I think the children will have a pretty good Christmas this year, chuckled Santa Claus to himself, as he looked over his toy shop, and the reindeer knew from Santa's chuckles that soon they would be starting off. The snowflakes saw Santa as he was making ready for his journey, and some of them danced on his great red coat and sat for a few minutes on his white beard and his white eyebrows. Hello, snowflakes, glad to see you, said Santa Claus. So King Snow has allowed you to be the honored ones to give us a white Christmas? The snowflakes danced about, and some of them peeped in windows and saw great, tall trees ready to be trimmed. And they saw sleeping children. When the next morning came, all the children shouted, "Oh, it snowed during the night. And we will have a white Christmas." Then how happy the snowflakes were. I am getting so excited I can hardly wait, said the Christmas tree. The daddy of the children brought me to the house because he said it would be a great help to Santa Claus to have me all ready. I know Santa Claus will give me the most beautiful of decorations, for I've often heard my family talk of the wonderful Christmas trees there have been. Ah, how handsome many of my relations have looked, and I can hardly wait until Santa Claus comes to see me. You're not any more excited than we are, said 3 stockings which hung up by the side of the mantelpiece. I belong to Dot, age 4, said the white stocking. I am hanging up for Jimmy, age 8, said the tan stocking. And I am for Betty, age 6, said the black stocking. I'm for all of them, said the Christmas tree. That's so, agreed the stockings. But even if we're not for all of them, but each stocking for one child, we're just as excited as we can. B. Have you ever been here before? Asked the tree. Yes, we're used every Christmas. We're kept just for Christmas. That's all we do all the year. We're put up the night before, on Christmas Eve, and down we come on Christmas morning, but between then and Christmas morning the most wonderful things happen. Ah, and the stockings waved a little as they talked of their evening and morning of pleasure. It's far better than being around all the time and getting worn out. We're very fortunate stockings. You are indeed, said the Christmas tree. But for my part, I'm willing to be around for one season of the year and to have a glorious time then. Oh dear, I am so excited. I can hardly wait. Patience, dear tree, said the stockings. Santa Claus will soon be here. You don't think he will lose his way, said the tree. I never heard of his losing his way from any of my relations. But perhaps he might forget about this house. Santa Claus forget a house where there are children. Dear me, tree, but you don't know Santa Claus. He never forgets. He's Santa Claus, and that's reason enough why we won't be forgotten.